Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. We have been discussing from the past few days and exploring the profound theme of criticism and excellence. There have been a few reflections on how criticism, when seen with an open heart, can become a mirror for our own growth, guiding us towards self refinement. Yesterday, we further explored how true excellence isn't about the unattainable goal of perfection, but rather a natural outpouring of the refinement that comes from our daily practice. Tonight, let's take this exploration a step further. We'll dive deeper into how criticism, when approached with a heartful attitude, transforms from a challenge into a genuine blessing. We'll also see how excellence, not as an achievement but as a state of being, can emerge naturally and effortlessly on the heartfulness path. Chariji beautifully guides us. He has mentioned in one of his quotes that take criticism seriously without anger or sadness. Use it for correcting yourself and welcome it. Often, our first instinct when criticized is to defend ourselves, to explain, or to reject what is said. But criticism can act like a light shining on parts of ourselves which we cannot see. Whether the words are kind or blunt, fair or unfair, we can still pause and ask, what truth can I extract from this? When we learn to welcome criticism, we are able to disarm the ego. Instead of wounding us, it begins to shape us. Lalaji has also mentioned that criticism helps us to grow through a process of continuous improvement of our weakness. With this perspective, every piece of criticism, whether from a teacher, colleague, friend, or even life's circumstances, becomes an opportunity to notice our blind spots and work upon them. In the heartfulness practice, this is deeply important. Just as cleaning removes the subtle impressions from our system, criticism removes the cobwebs of self deception from our awareness. Both prepare us for greater clarity and purity of heart. Excellence in the heartfulness way is not about comparison, nor it is about external achievements. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves, one step at a time. It is about allowing the inner state cultivated through meditation, prayer, cleaning, to find its expression in our words, choices, and actions. When we approach life like this, even the smallest acts of, let's say, how we speak to someone, or how we complete our daily responsibilities, or how we manage moments of conflicts, becomes reflections of inner refinement. Excellence is not about being flawless, it is about being authentic, sincere, and aligned with the higher purpose of life. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move forward in the session, a gentle reminder to all to help extend the invitation of these BHED sessions and heartfulness masterclasses with your family and with your friends. And now we resume our inspirational reading, which is from the article Becoming the Best Version of Ourselves. So far, we have read about the maxim 10, and we are going to now read further. When we go to sleep after this practice of self improvement, we also assimilate the changes in awareness from our short term memory into the long term memory centers of the brain, and eventually new patterns will form. These new patterns need to become subconscious and thus automatic for real change to happen. Each night, using Principle 10, we are dissolving unproductive patterns and reconfiguring the cognates in an open, yielding, heartful state that is the most conducive to adaptation and change. There is a letting go rather than recrimination. Self compassion is a natural outcome of this practice. The more we develop this habit by doing it every night, the more automatic it becomes, and the easier it is to respond the same way during the rest of the 24 hours. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect. The problem lies in our reaction when we do. Often, we don't admit to our mistakes, even to ourselves, for fear of punishment, embarrassment, or ridicule. Because we have been taught since childhood to feel guilt and shame for the same, for them. Remember that emotions like fear, anger, stress, anxiety, guilt, and shame in the subtle body can activate panic, and this leads to the fight or flight response in our physiology. I repeat, remember that emotions like fear, anger, stress, anxiety, guilt, and shame in the subtle body can activate panic, and this leads to the fight or flight response in our physiology. When that kicks in, no clear thinking is possible. The autonomic nervous system has switched into sympathetic mode, survival mode, and it is primed to attack or defend. As a result, instead of gently correcting and improving ourselves, we hide our mistakes and blame others, including parents, partners, co workers, and the journal environment. We deny, cover up, lie, resist, and lash out. These are the reactions of the ego, which surfaces when our sense of survival is threatened, even when the threat is only perceived and not real. Actually, it all depends upon what the ego identifies with. When the ego identifies mainly with the body, we will attack or defend with the physical body. When it identifies with the mind, we will attack or defend with the mind. In most people, it is a combination of the two. When the ego identifies with the soul, we are not concerned with defending the body or the mind. So we remain centered and focused on our inner state. We are less likely to react because the soul is immutable and unchangeable. So it is not under threat. We do not flip into that ancient survival mechanism of fight or flight. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take the rest from the reading and let these words that we have read from the article, let the meaning of these words settle into our hearts, letting them guide you towards continuous refinement. We will now prepare ourselves to offer the universal prayer together. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May our hearts remain united in remembrance of the divine, so that we may regain peace, harmony, and brotherhood to all. Dear sisters and brothers, as we come to the close of the day, let us take a few moments to reflect on the day. Did anyone offer you a feedback or a correction, directly or indirectly? And how did you respond? Was there a lesson you could have embraced more openly? Also, notice how you offered feedback to the others. Was it constructive, compassionate, and helpful? Or was it colored by impatience or judgment? Offer these reflections to the divine with a prayer for greater openness to learn and greater sincerity to strive for excellence in every aspect of life. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining in tonight's journey of inner discovery. As we close the day, let these reflections remain as a quiet undercurrent in your heart, guiding you toward greater refinement and harmony. And we look forward to your presence for the morning session tomorrow, which is going to be at 6 a.m. Until then, may you rest in light and may tomorrow unfold with deeper wisdom and love for all. Wishing you all a very good night.